Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Cohn Phone. My name's Grant Cohn. I'm the host of the Cohn Phone, and I'm going to start taking calls in 15 minutes. But you guys are the stars of the show, so I need to come on a little early. I'm the opening act. I'm going to tell you what I think, and then you guys take over and tell me why I'm wrong or why I'm right or what you think or whatever. But let's start off with the Justin Fields stuff. I feel like we have to focus the conversation. Right now, it's all about Justin Fields. For 2 or 3 weeks, the betting favorite in Vegas for who the Niners are going to take at number 3 was Senor Mac Jones, Michael McCorkle Jones. Now it's Justin Fields. What happened? Justin Fields had a pro day. He was the center of attention in the media, in the NFL. The Niners went, and now people are saying that they're hearing, that they're thinking. Pretty interesting. But here's the way I look at it. During those 3 weeks where Mac Jones was the favorite and Matt Mayoka was saying, lock it in, Adam Schefter was saying, lock it in, Peter King, everyone, there was a lot of skepticism amongst the fans. People saying, Niners don't leak stuff. Why would if people are saying that it's Mac Jones, that only proves that it's not Mac Jones, because the Niners don't leak stuff, and this is a whole smoke screen. If they were saying it was Justin Fields, that would make me worry because media doesn't know. Well, look, 3 weeks later, everyone's saying, hey, it's going to be Justin. Colin Cowherd saying it's going to be Justin Fields. Now everyone's saying, boom, there you go. There's your confirmation that Justin Fields was the man all the time. Isn't it possible that this is a smokescreen too? How come the Mac Jones stuff was definitely a smokescreen when the media reported it, but when Justin Fields is the betting favorite, that's the truth? It seems to me that this one, if either one is a smokescreen, wouldn't the one that comes out right before the draft be the smokescreen? Everyone thinks the Niners are going to go Mac Jones for months, and then 2 weeks before the draft, they change their mind. Do teams really act like that? Do they have a change of heart and epiphany? Kyle Shanahan was sitting in his room, lighting candles, smelling incense, and he was like, you know what? No, it's Justin Fields. Oh my goodness, thank goodness I sat here and fasted and prayed on it. I don't think they do that. I think they've had their mind made up. This reminds me of 2 years ago when the Niners took Nick Bosa, and everyone knew the Niners were going to take Nick Bosa forever, for months. There was no intrigue until about 2 weeks before the draft. People started digging into his past. They found some tweets that he liked, retweeted, some accounts that he was following. Seemed like people were saying he's not a good fit for the Bay Area. He's real conservative. He's MAGA. Is he even going to want to come out here? Can you sell that to the fans? And for 2 weeks, it was, well, maybe they're going to take Quinn and Williams. The Niners met with Quinn and Williams. They really like him. They went to IHOP. The kid was so charming. All he ordered was, could have went to Morton's. He wanted to go to IHOP. Boom, they took Nick Bosa. Like, I don't know. It just seems like, there's all this momentum right at the last minute on Justin Fields because he had a pro day, because the media likes him, because he's the favorite quarterback of the media. Did the Niners really change their minds? This one, to me, feels like a smokescreen. And why the smokescreen? Well, it seems to me that the Niners trading right behind Robert Saleh was strategic. Robert Saleh is a confident guy, but if Kyle Shanahan moves behind him in the draft, that's telling the whole world, look, I don't really have confidence in the Jets to make the right pick. I don't care to take the Jets pick. You go take the wrong quarterback, we'll take the right one. And I'm sure the Jets, even if they're confident, say they like Zach Wilson and they're confident in that, they got to feel like, what does Kyle know? Why is he so confident? Why is he so confident to move up to number 3 that we're going to mess this up? Maybe he doesn't like Zach Wilson. Maybe he likes, maybe he likes Justin Fields. Maybe this smokescreen is to get the Jets to believe that the Niners really like Justin Fields, so that the Jets take Justin Fields and the Niners can get Zach Wilson. Remember, I don't know what Adam Schefter and Matt Mayoka are hearing, and they're much more connected than me, but my limited sources in the league tell me that they do not believe the Niners are taking Mac Jones. They believe that the Niners traded up for Zach Wilson and that the Jets are going to take Justin Fields. Well, I don't know, but no one really knows what's going to happen. Maybe that's going to happen. Maybe that's what the Niners would like to happen. Maybe that's their ideal scenario, but for that to work, I guess they really got to sell Fields. We love him. We love him. We love him. We love him. Maybe the Jets should like him too. That's the way I read this. If this is not necessarily the Niners taking Justin Fields, it's please, Jets, take Justin Fields. Please, 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 please. That's the way I look at this. It's kind of a misinformation thing, but we'll find out. We'll find out. All right, next one. So the betting favorite thing. It was Mac Jones, and then Justin Fields had a pro day. Now it's him. Who's going to be the betting favorite next week that the Niners are going to take? I'm guessing is going to be Trey Lance. This is how I think it's going to go down. He's going to have his pro day on Monday. The Niners, well, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan didn't go to his first one. Mike Shanahan went, who's not an official 49ers employee, although he's basically running the team. He went. But Kyle and Lynch did not, because that was back before they traded up and they were trying to conceal the fact that they were looking for a quarterback. Now they don't got to do that. So they'll go to his pro day, and here's going to be the narrative that comes out from all these people who keep changing their minds in the media. They're going to say, you know what? Kyle and John had never seen Trey Lance in person. They were floored. He was so much more advanced than they'd seen him on tape from 2019. They were floored. And now don't be surprised if the Niners take Trey Lance. He's now in the conversation. I think Trey Lance will be the betting favorite by next week, 3-4 days. Let's see what happens. I think the media is pretty fickle, and anytime the story changes, that's big hits for all of us. I'm not driving the conversation. I don't have the sources. I'm just reacting to people changing their minds. But I don't think the Niners are going to take Justin Fields. I don't. I could be wrong. I don't. Could they take Mac Jones? Maybe. It would be the most unpopular move of all time. But that doesn't mean Kyle wouldn't do it. Trey Lance is a possibility as well. Remember, they haven't gone to his pro day yet. Next week, that could change the entire narrative. Oh, my God. He's so good. They just didn't expect him to play that well as pro day. Mark says, what's wrong with Mac Jones? He's awesome. Why are a lot of people making this about racism? Pick Jones. This is not about white or black thing. I don't know. It's interesting to me. It seems like Mac Jones is getting a lot of flack. Justin Fields is getting a lot of flack. It seems like they're getting an equal amount of flack. And it's interesting why those two are the two who are so heavily scrutinized. I mean, probably half the calls today are going to be about Justin Fields and the other half are going to be about Mac Jones. When, what about Trey Lance? What about Trevor Lawrence? What about Zach Wilson? Nationwide, everyone has an opinion on Justin Fields and Mac Jones. But what about the other ones? I don't really know why it's come down to those two, but they've become like the natural rivals in the media. I think it's kind of weird. They're both kids and they have nothing to do with each other. But it's like one has become like the great white hope. It's like Larry Bird versus Magic Johnson or something. It's a media construct. It seems weird. I think Mac Jones is a good player. Well, how can you knock him? He just had the best season of all time. A lot of people could have gone to Alabama and not necessarily put up the numbers that he did. So I don't know. Seems like people are looking for reasons to knock him the way they looked for reasons to knock Nick Bosa a couple years ago. As soon as the Niners took Nick Bosa, everyone was like, you know what? That's our conservative guy. He might be a little weird, but keep getting those sacks. Everyone loves Nick Bosa in the Bay Area. Are you kidding? You think you won't like Mac Jones if he's throwing 30 touchdown passes a year? I'm just saying. All right. My final topic, and then we'll move on. A non-quarterback topic. I've been trying to do some mock drafts, and I know the Niners are going to take a wide receiver and running back early, so I'm finally delving into the skill position players. And as soon as I got to Michael Carter from North Carolina, I just fell in love with that guy. I love watching Michael Carter's highlights, all of his film. He's the most fun player to watch. I don't know who I would compare him to. He kind of reminds me of like Jerick McKinnon, except like the good version, the version that Kyle Shanahan wanted. I think this guy is going to be fantastic. And it looks like I watched him for 2 minutes and I'm like, this is the guy that Kyle Shanahan has been looking for 3-4 years. He wants a committee of running backs that do different things. He's got the fastest running back in the league in Raheem Mostert. He's got the tough guy between the tackles, Jeff Wilson Jr. He wants the receiver, the guy who's one of the best route runners on the team, some of the best hand-eye coordination on the team, and a real threat out of the backfield, the way that Alvin Kamara is. And that's not Raheem Mostert or Jeff Wilson Jr. I mean, they're good receivers, but not great receivers. This guy's a great receiver. He's also a great running back. He averaged 8 yards a carry. I'm out of town right now. I'm in an undisclosed location. Can't tell you where, but you might think that I'm not. And, it's first night in a new place. It's always weird, kind of tough going back to sleep. Woke up this morning, first thing did, Michael Carter highlights. What's up, Michael Carter? Up. Look at that stop-start quickness. Look at that acceleration. Look at those hands. Look at that. Made me feel secure. Made me feel, it was like having a nice blankie. You know what I mean? Michael Carter highlights. He's a lot of fun. I think the Niners are going to get him somehow. Here's why. The way they use him at North Carolina, he's like a deep threat out of the backfield. He'll run those like up the sideline, the wheel route, or the seam up the middle of the field, and they'll throw to him, and he'll make diving catches. I know the Niners have been trying to incorporate that into their offense since last year. They would try that all the time in training camp and never connect, ever, because they didn't really have the running backs for it. Jerick McKinnon didn't have the juice. They tried to use him that way in training camp. And it's a throw that Jimmy Garoppolo can make. And if it's Mac Jones, the next quarterback, it's a throw he can make. It's a deep throw, but it's not a far throw. It's a running back up the sideline or up the seam. You let go of the ball pretty quickly. It's a manageable shot play for Jimmy Garoppolo. Michael Carter Jr. can do it. Is his last name Jr.? No. I just made that up. His name is Michael Carter. Anyway, check him out. I love him. Devin says, was the Jordan Reed experiment a failure, or do you think he will come back? We barely saw both tight ends on the field together. Yes, I think the Jordan Reed experiment was a failure. He, to me, when he was on the field, looked like a guy who was protecting himself. Nothing wrong with that, considering he's had about 8 concussions, but he ran the wrong routes consistently. He was frequently ending up in the same location as some other receiver. And then if the ball wasn't delivered perfectly, he was like jumping up and down, stamping his feet, throwing his helmet, like he was Terrell Owens or something. Like he was some Hall of Fame wide receiver who was getting shown up by his quarterback. Like, dude, you should have retired 4 or 5 years ago. Maybe the Niners backup quarterbacks don't have any business in the league. You definitely don't have any business in the league either. Go away. I always felt like the Niners brought him in as a personal favor to Trent Williams. You ever notice that Kyle Shanahan has signed like every single player who was on Washington with him when he left in 2013? Jordan Reed was one of them. Trent Williams was one of them. Like, enough, man. These guys are all my age. No. So that was an abysmal failure. And it wasted a year of Ross Dwelly's development. He never should have been sharing time with that old stiff. He should have been playing. Ross Dwelly's young. Jordan Reed is not. So that was a wasted opportunity. Although I think it does show that the Niners are trying to get a playmaker at that number 2 tight end spot. Ross Dwelly isn't exactly that yet. I think it indicates that the Niners are definitely drafting tight end Kyle Pitts with the 3rd pick. I mean, what else? How else could you read into that? I can't find any other situation, any other interpretation, really. Goldblood 21 says Kyle wants to be cool, and picking Mac will be the least cool thing he could do. If Mac doesn't look like Herbert, all hell will be upon him. You know what? Kyle could take Justin Fields to look cool. And then if Justin Fields isn't good, all the people who were Justin Fields fans, all the fans that told Kyle Shanahan to draft Justin Fields will turn on him. They'll delete their tweets. They'll say, you know what? I wasn't a GM. Kyle needs to get that right. What's important for Kyle is to get this right. He's not going to get fired on draft night. If he takes Mac Jones, it's not like Jed York's going to fire him. If Mac Jones has a good career and Justin Fields doesn't, then Kyle Shanahan really will be a legend because no one saw that coming. So he just needs to get it right. He doesn't have to make fans happy on draft night. That's not the right way to build your team. All right, let's do the Cohn phone. All right, I'm dropping the link in the description. Hold on. I want to give everyone the same amount of chance to call in. Click here. Bang. All right. There. And here. Boom. Cohn phone time. And it's 10 o'clock. I can go only to 11 because, as I said, I'm off location. I'm in an undisclosed location. It's kind of a workcation. Not a vacation, but a workcation. So got to cut off at 11. But I'll be back tomorrow at 10 to 11. And I'll try to do maybe one of these during the week as well. So let's talk some football. Michael Miller, what's up?
Hey, I beat the other guy this time.
Good to see you again, man. How you doing?
Yeah. No, I just wanted to go over the quarterbacks again and rework my list. I mean, I know we mocked in Trey Lance. Both of us did.
Mm-hmm.
I went back and watched probably another 7 or 8 games of him, as well as Mac Jones and my boy Zach Wilson.
Okay.
Zach Wilson's going to be the best quarterback coming out of this draft, hands down, bar none. I've even watched Trevor Lawrence in 4 games too. Trevor Lawrence has a weird passing motion. It's just weird the way he does it.
It's a little elongated, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very strange,
Also, his body type is strange. He's 6'6", like 210, very skinny.
Yeah, he looked weird every time he passes the ball. But I still hope and pray to God now that we get Zach Wilson. There is no better quarterback in this draft than him. I watched even the bad games that he had and stuff like that, and even a bad game, he still looked good doing it.
Okay.
Just
see, that's why I feel like this is a smokescreen, the Justin Fields stuff. All of a sudden, at the very last minute, the Niners love Justin Fields. It seems like they want the Jets to love Justin Fields. Take Justin Fields. He's great. He's great. Let us take Zach Wilson. Come on, you can't sell Zach Wilson to the New York media. Come on.
If you watch Zach Wilson throw, he always puts the ball in the right place for the wide receiver. If he's got to do a back shoulder one, it's perfect. Just anywhere he passes the ball to anybody, it's always perfect almost. I'd say at probably a 98% success rate. It's going to be dead on the money.
He has a quicker release than Trey Lance and Justin Fields. He's extremely accurate. He's extremely quick. I think it's fair to question his frame. It's fair to question his frame because he really does run a lot. I think he's going to play like Kyler, and he's going to need to protect himself. But
Mac Jones is my number 2. Watching him too. I watched the championship game. I watched every pass that Justin Fields made and every one that Mac Jones made. Mac Jones is. I just don't know what people don't like about him. I guess because you traded up and he's a 12th pick overall instead of a 3rd pick overall.
I have a hot take. Tell me if you agree. If Mac Jones were on Ohio State last year and Justin Fields were on Alabama, Ohio State would have won the national championship.
Correct.
He's just a better quarterback right now than Justin Fields. I haven't seen a quarterback execute that well. I guess Joe Burrow was similar. His ability to execute like a veteran, a pro-style offense like a veteran is rare for a college kid, and Justin Fields could get there later. But right now, Mac Jones is a better quarterback.
You see both him, Mac and Wilson, both set back there in the pocket. They're not afraid. They don't get frazzled, like Justin Fields. He can, I watched Jimmy G spin around in circles one play, and I showed it in my group. Well, Justin Fields had one of them plays where he scrambled and just panicked. He panics in the pocket when he gets pressure, and that's just Mac Jones doesn't panic.
His numbers Neither does Zach Wilson. Bad. Justin Fields' numbers against pressure are bad. He gets sacked a lot. He holds the ball a long time. I don't know. I feel like his mentality is he wants to show that he's a quarterback, but he holds the ball a long time, and that's not really what Kyle's looking for. Maybe it's a better fit for another offense.
Yeah, even in the Indiana game, I guess everybody told me that Indiana was ranked number 1 defense last year.
Oh, the Big Ten teams only play each other. What would they have been had they played an SEC team? That's
he ran the ball probably 80% of the time that game.
Yeah, he did. That Indiana game
he's a running back trying to play wide receiver or playing quarterback.
Here's the thing. I got to take some more calls, but Kyle Shanahan said something at that press conference when they traded up that I thought was just really backhanded praise. He said, yeah, I'm going to go to his pro day, but I've watched his film and I know he's going to run. He's going to be fast and throw it really well. I know how he talks. That's code. Throwing well is not being a good quarterback. You know what I mean? A lot of people who throw the ball well aren't quarterbacks. If he said, I know he's a good quarterback, that'd be different. But he says, I know he throws well. That, to me, is the ultimate backhanded compliment. You know what I'm saying? Strong arm, fast, doesn't make you a quarterback.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. There's been a lot of strong arm, fast guys who have totally failed in the NFL.
Colin Kaepernick.
Because playing quarterback is really, there's a reason the best quarterback in the league is still 43. It's all this stuff, and the athleticism helps, but it's all this stuff, and athleticism isn't a substitute for it. Michael, I got to take some more calls. Always good to see you, man.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, take care. Let me just answer these questions real quick, then I'm going to Korean 49er. James Knowing says, I will be shocked if the pick is not Trey Lance. Justin Fields is RG3. Agree. Zach is too thin. Possibly. Mac, nope. Interesting argument. Kyle Reveal is Trey Lance in the press conference. Well, we'll see, man. Very interesting. Russell says injury. They get injured just training. Jerry Rice was durable. Why don't the Niners hire him as a consultant to the training staff? Ha! I don't think Jerry Rice wants to do that, man. Jerry Rice is rich. Jerry Rice is famous. If you were Jerry Rice, you think you would want to work that hard? The trainers, the position coaches, you have no idea. They work like 7 to 9 every day, and they make like $100,000. They're the hardest working people in the world, and they're not rich. I really like those people anyway. Jerry Rice needs to be like golfing or something. Good stuff though. What's up, man?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good to see you again.
Yep. Several points.
I always like when people come on with polo on. And by the way, you get extra points for wearing polo. I love that.
Thank you. It's the first clean shirt I saw in the closet.
Love it, man. It's up. That's what's up. Anyway, keep going. Sorry to interrupt you.
Several points. My first point is we talked last week about drafting Sewell.
Yes.
Here's why I think that's even more defendable.
Bring it on.
When Parag and John re-signed Trent Williams, they made it for about 3 years before it became really, really expensive to hold on to Trent. So in the back of my mind, it's just, as I say, I can only speak for myself. I see them possibly, if I could get an asset for McGlinchey, do it, get that done. Then we don't have to worry about him being a liability on pass blocking. Have Panay play right tackle for 3 years, and then when Trent gets older, you can slide Panay into the left tackle spot. I see that as being the way to do it. I mean,
hey man, it makes a lot of sense. Let me lay it out for you real quick. The way I look at it in this draft, there are 3, no doubt about it, great players. You want to name them?
I believe it's Trevor Lawrence is one of them, Kyle Pitts, and Penei Sewell.
I mean, it doesn't take a genius to know that. We all can agree on that. Everyone in the world can agree that those are the guys. And at the number 3 pick, the Niners not theoretically, are guaranteed to get one of them. And if they take some guy, some quarterback that they hope and wish could be over a guy that's a no doubt about her, well, good luck. You know, that's your job. That's your choice. But from the way I look at it, I've been on Pitts' bandwagon. But look at Sewell. He plays a position that's more important, and it's a bigger need for the 49ers. And he's the kind of guy, if Trevor Lawrence weren't in this draft, you could argue should be the number 1 pick. I'm not against it, dude, at all.
Yeah. Didn't the past Super Bowl between the Bucs and the Chiefs tell us how important the tackles are in protecting the quarterback?
And going into that Super Bowl, everyone was picking the Chiefs, right? I mean, it's revisionist history. Everyone's like, well, yeah, I mean, their offensive line. No, everyone said Chiefs are going to win. Why? Because Patrick Mahomes is Superman. It doesn't matter. Oh, it doesn't matter that he's missing his offensive line. He'll just extend the play. He'll create off script. He'll blah, 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 blah. No, he needed it. The quarterback who had the better team won. When you get to the Super Bowl, often there's 2 great quarterbacks. What's the difference? The supporting cast. Thank you, man.
So from that, to all the people, the fellow fans are saying, hey, keep Garoppolo for the QB starting competition. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. And this is why I say that.
Okay.
I'm knowing the history of Garoppolo on our team. I'm not banking on him making it past game 3 of the season without an injury. I don't want that to happen to him.
It's a fair point.
I don't believe.
What kind of bridge quarterback is if the bridge collapses by week 2? What is that?
Yeah.
That's a hazard.
If I could get that salary cap back in case a player that we need gets hurt, we could always use that money to fill in for the short time. And if we don't use that money, you could always roll it over to next season's cap.
Well, look, I got to take Go ahead. Sorry.
And also, I see Belichick being very desperate since he doesn't have a lot of time left for coaching. He's done a lot of great work, but I don't think he's the kind of coach that wants to wait for Josh McDaniels to coach up. I'm going to use Mac Jones as an example, to get him up to speed and try to be what Tom Brady was in 2001, making short to intermediate throws and having an offense like that. That got the Super Bowl in the 2002 Super Bowl.
Yep.
And then beating the Rams.
Yeah.
So, that's just, and then if possible, I just want to beef up the offensive line. To me, if the Super Bowl told us anything, if you don't beef up the offensive line, we don't have a chance.
I'm with you, man. Keep banging that drum. I'm with you right there. Thanks a lot. Great shirt.
You haven't. Thank you. You have a nice weekend, and I'm going to be.
You too.
I'm going to be off site for next week. So you have a nice week, and I'll catch you the week after.
Have a great time, man.
Yep. Thank you.
Enjoy yourself. All right. Hey, what's going on,
Hey,
man? Nice
Grant.
It's Polo Day. What's up,
Yeah.
man? You look dapper.
Yes.
Hey,
Doing good. How are you?
hold on. Answer some questions with me real quick because I don't want these people's money to go to waste.
Okay,
Hang with
sure.
me. Hang tight with me. Human Race Wins says if the goal is to upgrade at quarterback, why not trade Jimmy in number 3 to Atlanta for Matt Ryan in number 4? Come on. We draft Pitts and wait till Mon or Mills. Hey, I like it. I don't know if that's going to happen. You think the Falcons would trade Matt Ryan in number 4 for Jimmy Garoppolo in number 3? I don't think so. No one wants Jimmy. I can't wait to see what the Niners actually get for Jimmy because I'm not certain anyone wants him. Christopher says place a percentage on each prospective quarterback draft candidate for the likelihood of drafting each. Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Mac Jones. Man, I don't know. 33, 33, 33. I don't know. I'm avoiding that question. I like it, though. Big Dad says, sheesh, Grant. So, Grant, you agree with the first caller saying Fields is a running back trying to play quarterback? No, not really. I mean,
agree.
not really. I'm not a big Justin Fields fan, but I don't really want to get into the particulars of why I think that. But I wouldn't say he's a running back trying to play quarterback. He's a quarterback. He's a really good athlete trying to play quarterback. Let's put it that way. All right. Look, thank you for bearing with me. What's going on, man?
No worries. The first thing I wanted to talk about is that last week I brought up that Bruce Arians example, right? That he might be a Hall of Famer. Thing that I want NFL teams to think that way is for a reason. Now, when teams plan ahead in NFL, they look at like 5 years, 10 years down the line, what our team might be, how next 10 years would be. But that is kind of a mistake. Here's the reason why. Because NFL is one of the most competitive sports leagues in the entire world, not just in America.
It's like them and the English Premier League. I mean, it's big money. Yeah.
English Premier League is not that competitive. NFL is far better than any soccer league. So now, people, when plan things out, they always take Patriots as the example. Winning 6 champions in 20 years, it's an anomaly because it included a coach, Hall of Fame, greatest of all time quarterback, the owner, and everything. Because the equal example would be like, we have life on Earth, right? But that doesn't mean that every star that we find have a planetary systems with life.
True.
So
true.
Right? So you have to plan. So you have to plan.
Yeah.
If there is an opportunity that you think you can grab some even 35-year-old players, you can set up a team, you can give a shot at Super Bowl in this year, you have to do it. So that's I'm really kind of do not agree with Kyle Shanahan's vision at sometimes. I mean, Wish was continuously saying that I like Kyle because he always believes what he believes and he goes down with it. That's fine, but he has to be flexible and make sure play what's in front of him. If he can do that, at least if he can learn it by now, we have to see whether this year whether he will learn it or not. But if he can do that, he can go for great lengths.
Before you go, in your mind, what would indicate that he's learned it, that he's changed?
I think this year he's going to every pro day, right?
Yes.
He's not doing the same mistake that he did with Mahomes.
I didn't really check him out that much. That's just the most. It's one thing not to take Mahomes because other people didn't do that too, but you didn't even.
Yeah.
You didn't even. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Good call. Good call. So that's to be like, hey, he's going to Justin Fields. He has to. Remember what he did in 2017. I mean, that's if he did it again. If he passed on Justin Fields, it's one thing to pass on Justin Fields and be like, look, we looked at him so closely, we love him. And we love him. Let me just say, we love Justin Fields. We looked at him closely. Nothing against him. It's nothing. It's just we just happen to love whoever we took. That's the way. That's what they're going to say if it comes to that.
Yes.
Good call, man.
Basically, do your homework.
Yes.
Take the decision.
Cover your behind so that doesn't happen again. I'm going to thank you. Good to see you, man.
Okay, thanks a lot.
You got tomorrow. All right, man. See you.
Okay.
Real quick, enough with McCorkle already. This dude is the exact replica of AJ McCarron. Yeah, they do look a lot alike. Kellen Mond late first round with the pick. Yeah. I love that people are donating money to me saying draft Kellen Mond. Like, yo, you don't have to. You already. I'm convinced, man. I appreciate it. Bali B says, Grant, do you really think an organization that values character that's been burnt by Saban will draft a Bama quarterback that has had a DUI? With the given situation lingering, I don't see them taking any risks. Look, I'm not a Mac Jones expert, all right? I'm not. But I feel like someone should come to this dude's defense because everyone comes to Justin Fields' defense, and for good reason. But Mac Jones, how old was he when he had the DUI? He was young, right? And since then, it seems like he's used it as a catalyst to turn his life around and give him and drive him to success. I mean, he graduated Alabama in 3 years. He has a master's degree already. I mean, are you really going to – what is his character? Are you going to judge a guy on what he was at 17? Maybe that event is the reason that he has character now. Maybe that was a moment that built character for him. I don't know. I don't know him. All I'm saying is maybe we should look at it both sides the way we try to do with Justin Fields. I'm not ready to write him off. This guy might be the Niners quarterback, and he might be really good. The things people say about him is that his accuracy is uncanny. The ball is always 18 inches in front of the receiver. You know who else could do that? Joe Montana. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. What's up, Jacob? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing? Good. How you doing,
Hanging
Grant? It's
in
been
there,
a
Jay.
while.
What's up? It has, man.
Yeah, good. I haven't been on her since even before we made the trade, so I can go on and on about who I like, and I just hope they just get it right. Just get it right. I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I do care who it is, but the fact that they just got to really get this right, it's going to set us back so far, and it's going to ruin everything, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's the point. Everyone's pretending like they know who it is. No one knows. But the point is, the Niners better get it right because they traded up like they know.
Yeah, and sorry, I don't have a polo. I have a M Resort,
it's all right,
Las
man.
Vegas.
You look
I'm
great,
up
though.
my run, so I ruined the trend.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah.
I want to get your. I know we've been talking a lot about quarterbacks, but I want to talk about cornerback. And I know with the Patriots, they got Jackson. It's JC or CJ. They just put a second round tender on him. And I read a nice article actually, and yeah, JC. And I read a nice article saying that when they applied the second round tender, him and his agent reached out to every single team to get an offer sheet to see if he can make a little more money. And basically, the thing is that no one's ever, since the second round tender has been applied, no one's ever made the trade when they've been applied, because it's like they kind of have that rule where you don't touch mine, I don't touch yours. Kind of like it's a respect thing, and I didn't know that. But with that being said, he still can be traded at the draft. There is rumors. So to the Niners, and you do not draft a cornerback with the second round. Let's say he goes running back, like they know they've done, and they give up a third instead of a second, and you get him for $3 million on a year, and he's 26 years old, cheaper,
and he's great,
younger, he's good.
He's really good.
I mean, get him a 1 year, extend him. I'd rather have. I like Gilmore, but Gilmore's gonna be 30. Wants 20. Makes 10, 12 million. It's just, I don't know. I wanted to get your thoughts on that. If they pulled,
I wasn't prepared for it. I hadn't thought of it. No, I think it's clever. A lot of people have come on the show and say the Niners should go after Gilmore. I like this better. This makes more sense because Gilmore's would cost you about a second. This guy costs a second as well. Hey, he's 4 years younger. Also a hell of a player. Yeah, I'll take him.
He's 6'1".
I mean, from the Niners' perspective, what they could do is they know internally when they're targeting a cornerback in this draft. And if it is round 2 and they're hoping to get someone who can contribute right away, then compare him to J.C. Jackson. Line him up. You guys are – who cares about the future? You guys are all in. You guys have a Super Bowl window now. Win now. I think it's clever. I like it. Let's see if it happens. Maybe that'll happen. Remember, the Niners and the Patriots have a potential deal that could happen on day 1 or day 2 of the draft. Patriots have had interest in Jimmy Garoppolo at a certain price. The Niners might have interest in J.C. Jackson. It could happen, man. That's clever. Thank you. Go have a good run.
Yeah. Well, hey, Grant, you have a great weekend. Take care of yourself. Be safe, man.
You too,
I'll talk to you again, okay?
All right. See you soon, man. Have a good one. Hello. You're muted, but if you just press the little mic button, you will unmute yourself. Bingo.
All right.
Hey, man. How you doing?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing good.
So I want to talk about possibly drafting Micah Parsons at number 3.
Oh, wow. I did not expect that. Let's talk about it.
Because
wow.
I think we need 2 good linebackers, like when we had Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman. So what if we drafted him at number 3, and then we got like a quarterback in the 2nd round, like Trask or Mond? I like Trask. I know you like Mond.
I like Trask too, though. What do you like about Trask?
I think he's great. I like that. I think that he could do good under pressure, since there's not a lot of good teams with O-lines.
I'm with you on that.
But like he wouldn't. I don't think he could do good with like the Bears though, because I don't think he needs good weapons though. I mean, possibly.
Yeah, I think every quarterback does, to be fair. But let's come back to the original point, Micah Parsons. Look, before we can consider Micah Parsons at 3, I think what you should do is sell it. What do you like about Micah Parsons? Sell it to us.
That he's fast.
Okay.
He ran 4.4. He if we needed, like if Nick Bosa got hurt again, he said that he's a D end at heart, so he could rush the passer.
Said Grant hasn't watched one snap of Micah Parsons. It's so true. It's so true. I haven't. So that's why I want you to tell me about it. So he can rush the passer a little bit. He's fast. Who would you compare him to? Who's he remind you of a little bit?
I don't know.
You don't have to have an answer to that. That's a tough one. That's always a tough one.
Yeah.
But I have heard some people say that he is one of the special players in the draft. I hadn't considered him in that. Do you put him in there with Kyle Pitts and Penei Sewell and Trevor Lawrence as the specials?
I feel like he'd be like the level below that.
Okay. Like see, in that case, then trade down for him. How about that?
Yeah.
How about that? Okay.
Because before Dylan Moses like went down, Micah Parsons was considered number 2. So like he's not considered like the best of the best, but he's considered like pretty good. Okay.
Well, let me go watch some Micah Parsons highlights, man. I wasn't expecting that. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from I'm in California, like you.
Oh, respect, man. All right. Well, have a good day, man. Go have a nice day.
All right.
All right, later. Shardal, what's up, man? Oh, you're muted.
So my first question for you is, what are your thoughts of the San Francisco 49ers re-signing defensive guard Daniel Brunskill to a 1-year deal?
I love it. I love Daniel Brunskill. He's one of my favorite players on the team. I think he's underrated. I think he's got potential. I think he'll be a starter for them for a while. Problem is, he hasn't been able to play like one position for more than a couple games at a time. They keep moving him around. So I hope that he gets to stick at right guard and flourish. I like that guy a lot.
And my second question is, how will the 49ers be Super Bowl contenders in 2021?
Oh, that's a great question. Here's how. Draft Kyle Pitts in round 1 and then take a quarterback in round 2. What do you think?
I think that's a pretty good way of looking at it.
Me too, Shardal. Great to see you, man.
Great to see you, Grant. See you next time.
Always a pleasure. Take care, man. Yeah. Oh, what's up, Josh?
Hey, how's it going, Grant?
Good. How are you, man?
Oh, pretty good. Just hanging out. Hopefully, I get a better connection outside.
It seems like it's pretty good so far. So what's popping, man? What's going on?
Nothing, man. Just, still thinking about all the draft stuff. I do like your take on Pitts or Sewell over taking Mac Jones at 3. I'd rather do that.
Yeah.
I'd much rather do that. Because they could have stayed at 12 and got Mac Jones. I mean, or maybe traded up to 9 or something like that. If that's who they were
real quick. I know you have a question, but I'm gonna throw something at you real quick. I agree with you on that. They didn't need to trade up for Mac Jones. If they don't take Mac Jones, I think that guy drops in the draft. I'm gonna be dramatic.
Oh yeah, I think it'll be at least in the 20s.
That's why to me it's like, hey Kyle, if you like Mac Jones, don't take him at 3. Just take Kyle Pitts and then let him drop, and then you can trade up and get him at 24 or whatever, man. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
So Kyle, please don't do it.
I would be so mad if they took him at 3 that I can't support that decision. Like I think I would just be like, okay, I'm not 30 years of being a 49ers fan. And I think I'd be like, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
Well,
I
look,
can't do
you got to know that it would be a Kyle move, and I think it would follow him around for the rest of his life. If it's wrong, it would ruin his reputation for the rest of his life, and no organization would ever let him pick a quarterback again. You know,
right.
Like, look,
right.
your privileges have been revoked. Give us the car keys. You're grounded for life.
I'm cool with them taking Fields if that's who they want. I prefer Lance though.
Okay.
I would
Any
like
reason
to
why?
see. I think he's got that chip on his shoulder like Tom Brady had.
Yeah.
No, everybody told him he couldn't be a quarterback. That just gives a guy a certain amount of drive to succeed. Even if they take number 3, you know, I heard you guys talking about how can you really keep the chip on your shoulder when you get taken at number 3? But at the same time, I think he still feels like he has something to prove to everybody else.
And it's been ingrained in him for a while.
Right.
It's how he's gotten here. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that drive is important. And the guy, I watched the interviews between him, Fields, like him and Fields both seem extremely smart.
Yeah.
What I see from Mac Jones, not that he seems dumb, but he seems in his interviews and stuff, like I watched all their interviews. He seems very immature.
That's what he's like, giggling and stuff, right?
Yeah, he seems very immature. You know, at the pro day, he's like, you know, I told Kyle Shanahan I really liked his hat and blah blah blah. And when he would miss a pass,
he's like,
oh well, and stuff.
That's Jimmy. That's Jimmy, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Justin Fields seemed disappointed when he missed his first couple passes.
Yeah.
And then when he started hitting them, then he got, you know,
he's locked in. Yeah, I see.
But
I see.
So I just see that immaturity. Then with the DUI, that points to immaturity. I've had 2 in my life, and I was super immature.
How old?
Super immature. I was 25 when I got my first one.
Okay.
And then I was like 30 when I got my second one. And I really, until I had my kids at 37, I was still going out and partying all the time, and I was still super immature.
I see.
So I'm 40 now. I haven't drank for like 3 years.
Hey.
But
congrats.
Man, I was really immature for that entire time, and that's not just something that just goes away. Like it takes a while.
Yeah, it does.
So if he's
it's like, hey, I'm 22, I'm mature now. Do you know if Mac Jones is married? That often helps a franchise quarterback. Just get married and stay home all the time. Don't go out. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Trevor Lawrence just got married. Not that really matters. Anyway, that's a great call, man. Thanks for calling.
I appreciate it. Thanks, man. Have a good one.
Yep. Cohn, draft Trey Lance, and our offense is relentless. Trade to the Bay. They just might. I think they might, man. They just might. What's up, man? How you doing?
What up, Grant? How you doing?
What up?
All right, so I have a question.
Good. What's up?
All right, I have a question. I have a scenario. So, my
question I love a scenario.
Okay. My question is, do you really think the 49ers are playing games with the media with after every single quarterback's pro day? So like Jones pro day, Fields pro day, and Lance pro day.
I think there's always misinformation that goes around. But my question to you is, all these people have information all of a sudden. Where's it coming from? Is it possible it came from Jed? Because Jed has a history of talking, and this is the kind of a move that the owner has to sign off on. They don't trade up to 3 without Jed York knowing why and for whom. And could he just be like, yeah, you know, we're gonna really want to Jed. Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah, that's what I think about it. Yeah.
Okay. For my scenario, I'm going to hop on the Kyle Pitts trend at 3. So if we do draft Kyle Pitts at 3, which quarterback would be the best fit in round 2? Kyle Trask or Kellen Mond?
I prefer Kellen Mond because I like his potential. He has a stronger arm. He's more athletic. Kyle Trask is a hell of a quarterback, and you don't always need the strongest arm and wheels to be a good quarterback. So that's tough. The numbers that Kyle Trask put up last year are stupid. They're stupid. Now, Kellen Mond might have done that too if he got to play in that offense with those players. We'll never know.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong. And I also feel like third guy, Davis Mills. I really like Davis Mills. That's another guy
Oh,
that I would be interested in instead of Mac Jones. So, yeah, I mean, there's 3 guys you can't miss, I think.
yeah, I
Also,
completely agree.
one more name. Jamie Newman from Wake Forest. A lot of people are interested in Trey Lance. I mean, Trey Lance is an athlete who's learning the position. So is Jamie Newman, and they're about the same size. Jamie Newman's a hell of a player, and he played against real competition. No one talks about Jamie Newman. That's 4 guys the Niners could get after round 1.
Yeah, I believe that. I just think that what I did with my scenario is if so, let's just say Trey Lance and Justin Fields, I like those guys. All right. If we pick them, I'm not gonna be mad at all. But let's just say if we go with Kyle Pitts, a for sure weapon out on the field, I'm just thinking we could get like a same, not really same, but like not really hype same, but like same as like talent in the second round, I feel like.
I feel like if you go into the season with this all-star cast of Pitts, Kittle, Debo, Ayuk, and Mostert, and your quarterbacks are Jimmy Garoppolo, who's had success in the NFL, Josh Rosen, who's 24 and was a top 10 pick, the number 1 recruit out of high school, and a second-round pick who's Mond, Trask, Mills, that's pretty good. I don't think that the Niners have this dire need for a quarterback that people want to make it out to be. Like, yeah, if Trevor Lawrence were available, you take that dude. But he's not. And these other guys aren't Trevor Lawrence. And the Niners have other needs. Like, they're not just necessarily one Zach Wilson or one Justin Fields away from winning. So I think a quarterback room of Mond, Rosen, and Garoppolo is a strong room. Strong room. I got to take some more calls, though, man. I got to take some more calls. But I appreciate you coming in. Did you have one more thing you want to say real quick?
Yeah. What's up? Would you rather, for the Jimmy G, would you rather have Jimmy G or Teddy Bridgewater to mentor those QBs? I mean, Jimmy G knows the playbook.
Yeah, and Teddy's a little more mobile. They're both brittle. I guess Jimmy. He's part of the team. Teddy isn't. The players like him. I guess Jimmy, but it's a good question. Thanks for calling in, man.
Thank you for having me.
All right, of course. Let me answer a couple of questions. I'm going to get to Viet. I totally agree with ruin his reputation. Josh McDaniel is still tied to Tebow. That is true. Chip on shoulder for Fields because he's behind Lawrence again. Fair. You know, Lawrence and Fields are 2 of these guys kind of like Josh Rosen, who have been anointed crowned since they were 15 years old. I like that Trey Lance had to work and prove it and had to go to North Dakota State. No one thought he'd be great. He just proved it. Well, he did in 1 year. Anyway, I like that. There's a couple more, and then I'll get to the next call. Hold on. Keith, Antonio. Does Kyle have the patience to draft Trey Lance? I don't know if it's Kyle. Does Jed? The Niners have had 3 losing seasons in 4 years under Kyle Shanahan. If Trey Lance is on the 3-year plan and he's not going to be a good winning player until 2023, is Jed okay with that? Is he okay with 2 more years of growing pains and losing while Trey Lance gets ready? That's the question, is the timeline, Jed's timeline. I don't know. I mean, a coach could have patience because if he has a 4-year project, that means he's got a 4-year job security. So I don't know. All right, hold on. Chef Tommy.
Oh,
I see your.
What's up, Grant?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Long time no see.
Long time no see.
So
what's on your mind?
I just about this Pitts thing. You don't trade future assets for a tight end. I mean, that's just preposterous. Come on, man.
I know, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. What I'm trying to say is I wouldn't have traded up for number 3. Not for Pitts.
Yeah, exactly.
Not for Sewell. I wouldn't have done it. But now that they're there, I'm like, all right, well, you guys already messed up. So let's try to mitigate the risk here. Let's try to make this, you know what I mean? It's like, it's going to be,
I hear you.
Let's try to not make this a fumble too. You know?
Well, I mean, they were mocking us to take him at 12, I think a few months ago.
Pitts?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he ran that 4.4 and he's going to go top 5. He's an amazing player.
Yeah, but what if I just think he's kind of overhyped a little bit. I wonder if can he live? What I mean, what
can
first
he live
round?
Up to the, yeah, right. Yeah.
What first round tight ends have panned out in the NFL? I mean,
good point. Gronkowski wasn't first round. Kittle wasn't first round. Kelsey wasn't first round.
Exactly.
Yeah, this guy is the most hyped tight end of all time, and the people that I trust compare him to wide receivers. They compare him to Calvin Johnson, Julio Jones. He's not a wide receiver. He's a tight end.
It depends on what team he goes to, but if
that
he
being
goes
said,
to
I love him. I'm sold. I'm sorry. I love that guy. He's so good. Watch him.
I just don't want him to go to the Cardinals.
You can't cover him. He's 6'6" with the longest wingspan I think ever recorded. He runs a 4.4. His route running and finesse is off the charts. He's just fantastic. I mean, he could get hurt. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. What if he gets hurt? I mean, then you sold your farm for a guy that is injury prone, and everyone's calling him all pro, and he hasn't played one single game in the NFL yet.
It's true. It's risky.
But yeah,
it's okay. All right, Chef Tommy. Who would you?
I want Fields, but I'm also thinking that he might not be a fit for the system. So a question for you is: will Kyle change his system? Does he want to change his system, or is he too stubborn? Or can Fields be taught a different system, quicker release? Because
I'm skeptical on the last one. I think you take a quarterback and you try to fit him to something that works for him, not the other way around. Like, hey, I like you. Now let's have you do a bunch of stuff you're not comfortable with. No, that's not what the Cardinals do with Kyler Murray. What was the first part of the question? I'm sorry.
Do you think Kyle wants to change his system a little bit?
No. And he has changed his system. He has. In Washington with RG3, it was way different. Even Atlanta with Matt Ryan, it was different. But has he, since they went to the Super Bowl in 2019 and lost, have they changed anything? Philosophically, structurally?
Not really.
Nothing. But I don't know. The way everything that Kyle has done since 2019 is we have the winning formula. We have it. And we lost that one game, but we would have won 9 times out of 10. And it was a fluke and that one thing, and we should have won, and we're going to prove it. We're not going to change one thing about our team. If we bring in Mac Jones, it's the same structure. It's the same formula. It's just Jimmy H. It's Jimmy 2.7. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think Kyle really wants to keep the team as is. But that's just my interpretation.
I think he wants somebody like Josh Allen, somebody to extend the play with a really nice arm.
So do I. That guy's great. He's the best. I love him.
I know.
Yeah. All right. Well, Chef, it's been a pleasure, man. Nice hat, nice backdrop. You really were prepared. I like it, man. Where are you calling? By the way,
San Ramon.
Oh, cool. Well, have a nice day out in the 925.
You too. Thanks for having me on. Great talk.
Anytime, man. Yo.
Hey, man. How are you?
Good, man. How you doing?
Oh, man. I was with you on the. Well, I was against Pitt, but now I have this fear that the Cardinals or the Seahawks, God forbid, might jump up and get him. And
no, right? God forbid.
We'll be screwed. Oh my God, we'll be so screwed.
No one can cover that guy. J.C. Horn tried. It was hard. He couldn't do it.
And with the receivers they got, with DK and him, oh Lord.
It would be over.
I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to think about it. Anyways, I want to talk about 43. I got a couple of things I want to talk about that will lead into each other.
Thank you. It's time to talk about 43.
43, man. First off, I want to know: are there any Are there enough corners that we can get a quality one at that point? Because I still want
a corner. Absolutely. You can get a definite quality corner. And as a previous caller mentioned, if they don't like the corners at 43, there's going to be some good ones. They can always call the Patriots and offer a second for J.C. Jackson or Stephon Gilmore. There's some guys out there.
And here's my thing. I'm getting a little nervous about not signing Fred yet because we haven't heard anything from him. Remember what I told you? I think there's going to be another big move coming up, and I'm really nervous about that because right now, like if the consensus is that Lynch and Shanahan is all in, this is their make or break thing.
Yes.
Right? In my point of view, if you're going to do that, why not go for broke? I think one caller last week said, "How can we get Pitts and Fields?" And I say, "Why not? Why not go for it?" If we
see what's more realistic. No, I hear what you're saying because they could trade Fred Warner to get right back up in that top and. But I think what's more realistic is to get Pitts and Jones. If they love Jones, what Lynch could come to Kyle's like, look, man, I know you want Jones. I know that's it, and you want him, fine. There is no way we have to take him at 3. It is absolutely out of the question. We can get him at 24.
This trade was so early that I feel like it's meant for leverage.
Maybe.
Just so they can make other moves.
Right, because this is the kind of trade you usually do on draft night when the third pick is on the clock and the first two picks have been made and you know exactly who's going to be there.
If he
Why do you do it?
Jones, you can just wait till the third pick and then
just wait.
Now I know where I can move to, because moving up to like
exactly
6 or 7 is way easier than going all the way up to 3. You might not have to give us as much to go up to 4 or something like that. Because if Jones starts dropping, maybe Atlanta doesn't like him. Yeah, we don't like him. We'll take like a first and a couple of seconds and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Perhaps.
But I don't know. Lynch is a schemer, man. But in a way, I like that. But sometimes I get really nervous about what.
Well, here's the thing. You started off this call talking about we want to talk about 43. I think. Yeah. Would you be surprised if they traded up from that spot?
Oh no, that's what I'm thinking about.
That's what we're saying. Because look, Fred Warner hasn't been signed. I don't necessarily expect them to trade him, but that's a possibility. They did it with Buckner, and also they have 9 picks in this draft. 9. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of rookies. Mm-hmm. A lot of day 3 rookies that are supposed to beat out. I mean, it's a veteran team that's supposed to be a Super Bowl contender. There's no way 9 rookies make this team.
For me,
it seems to me they're going to be trading up.
I think I would be really good with. I don't know where J.C. Horn could fall, but another move to, let's say we do pick Mac or Fields. Yeah. Later in a late second. I wouldn't even know where Pitts would drop either. I think they're going to be monitoring that pretty well. But if they can move up like maybe in the 20s. Would be realistic for like a J.C. Horn. I'd be cool with that.
Yeah, a second trade up would be really cool. Hey man, I got to take some more calls, but you killed it, man. Good stuff. Good to see you, man.
Thank you.
Right. What's up, Dan?
Hey Grant, how you doing, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm good. It's finals week this upcoming week for me, so it's both good and bad. School's almost over.
Finals. I'm sorry, I haven't taken a test in 10 years, man. That must be so stressful, man. I hated finals.
Well, and I'm decently
hated it.
I don't really have finals. I'm an IT major, so I do more like projects.
Oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool.
It's bad. It's just busy time of the year.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. All right. So what's up?
No, I got to start with you, man. Why are you? I understand why you really love Kyle Pitts, but it's not happening. Come on,
it's not happening. You don't trade up for a tight end. All I'm saying is I wouldn't have traded up. I wouldn't trade it up for Kyle Pitts. I wouldn't trade up for anyone. Now that they're there, let's make a good decision. I'm saying. I really do feel like there's 3 special players in this draft, and the Niners are in position. They can guarantee they get one of them, and they're going to pass. And it's going to feel smart at the time. The Raiders felt smart for passing on Calvin Johnson, and then that haunts you the rest of your career. John Lynch, think about it.
But I doubt we're picking Jamarcus Russell. Let's be fair.
Jamarcus had issues upon issues.
Yeah, didn't he not even watch tape in college or? Right?
That was just the beginning of the issue.
That was okay. Yeah, he's a little before my time, but I've heard some of the.
Jamarcus Russell actually lived down the street from my parents when I was growing up. We lived up on Skyline Boulevard in Oakland, and Jamarcus had one of these mansions down the street. Most of the Raiders live out in Black Hawk, but no, he was doing his kingpin thing in the Oakland Hills. So cool. He never invited me over though. I didn't get to hang out with Jamarcus. All right, let's talk.
Yeah, no, let's talk. The first thing I want to start with is Kyle's ego. I think the interesting thing that you've been talking about is if they do pick Kyle Pitts, right, they could go and get that guy in the second round, and that would be a huge ego boost, right? But I also think winning with a rookie quarterback or second-year quarterback or something like that, if you actually won the Super Bowl, that'd be a pretty big ego boost. So I think let's be realistic. No matter what,
if he wins with Justin Fields, any type of Super Bowl victory, no matter who, it's you did it. Man.
Especially in the first 2-3 years of a rookie contract, because if you look at all the past Super Bowl winners, there's barely anyone over 11, 12, 13% of the number one payer paid on the salary cap.
Yeah.
But most of that, if you look more recently, it's just a lot of teams have been just taking great advantage of the rookie contract situation. You saw how Buffalo did it. I mean, they're about to load up again. Baltimore has been able to do the same thing. So to me, it's just the biggest advantage no matter what, because you've been talking about making an all-star team. I think you can make an all-star team and still take a quarterback at 3. I really think you can, because I was looking at the numbers with the rookie pick. The average annual per year salary is $5.8 million. And in that first year, the cap hit's going to be even less. So I think they're going to get rid of Jimmy, right? I talked about this a little last week, but I really think they're going to take Zach Wilson or Justin Fields because they can start them right away. They can play them and they can justify it, right? then they can get rid of Jimmy and have like 20 million in salary cap to say, hey, we want to go grab whoever. Because let's be real, Grant, there's going to be that second wave of free agency this year, and some teams take advantage of it. I think the Niners are going to be that team, and no one's kind of talking about that yet.
I mean, I could see that the Niners taking Mac Jones at 3, although it would be panned, it would be ridiculed, and the people I talk to in the league don't believe that the Niners have the guts to do it. They could take Trey Lance. I mean, I think a lot of people would get behind it, although it could be the wrong move. And then Justin Fields, they could do it. Although it's just all the specific criticisms that Chris Sims had, Dan Orlovsky. These are guys who are very close to Kyle, and I just don't see Kyle having that much of a difference of opinion in them. I know that Chris Sims kind of downplayed Brandon Ayuk last year, but he didn't trash him the way he's trashed Justin. He's trashed. Justin Fields.
He put Justin Fields behind Mac Jones and Kellen Mond. So
behind Kellen Mond.
Yeah,
I did too, but I'm not Chris Sims.
You're the two people on the planet who
on a national platform doing that. Yeah. And it's like, I just can't see Kyle being like, hey, my boy Chris Sims is way off. I think they kind of, I'm just curious. I'm curious.
So I think my thing through all this and recently, and I really come to this conclusion in the last few days, is that the 49ers are doing a great job with this, because guess what? No one knows.
No one knows.
Anyone who pretends like they know has like no freaking idea. And everyone afterwards is going to be like, oh, you can point to this, but the reality is that right now, no one knows. And that's the best case scenario for the Niners. What I don't understand with the Jets is, like, it seems I don't 100% think they're going to take Zach Wilson. But if they were, why would you act like they have been this whole time, where it's so obvious? It doesn't
make sense. But with the Niners, I feel like there's, for some reason, someone associated with the Niners floated Mac Jones. So my question is, why? Why did they do that? Maybe they do plan on taking Mac Jones with their second pick. Or if you wanted to take Mac Jones, you didn't have to say it. Why?
Yeah, well, or you could have floated it. But you could have just been floating it. That's the sort of
as a trial balloon. Let's see what people think.
I mean,
we're interested in Sam Darnold.
Yeah, Sam Darnold.
Fans give that 8 thumbs down.
Who's apparently
we're not interested in Sam
round pick. Like, oh my god, geez.
All right, man.
I did want to say before.
Go ahead.
With all the smoke screens, anyone who's pretending like they know what's going on doesn't. And this time next week, Trey Lance is going to be that.
That's what I said.
His pro day is coming up. It's like Grant. I don't bet a lot, but I'm really interested in the betting markets and just seeing how that like reflects the general public. And what I've learned over time is that it's basically just like, okay, who's the story this week? Who are people focused on? If you look at the NBA MVP week by week, for example, it's just ridiculous. It's not even close to predicting who's actually going to win it. So I don't pay attention to any of that crap. That's just like public betting like stuff. It doesn't have anything to do with who they're actually going to pick. The only people who know are Kyle, Jed, and John, and anyone else who pretends like they have even a sniff like of knowledge is BS.
Yeah, which quarterback is on people's minds that week? That's all it is. Man, great call, man. Have a great day over in Florida.
Oh yeah, I'll talk.
Appreciate it. Over Florida. That's not what it's called. Yo, what's up, Amin? How you doing?
Yo, what up?
What's up? What's up?
That outfit song that I sent you.
No, I didn't yet, man. I'm sorry. I was driving for 8 hours yesterday, but I'll listen to it later today. My bad, Amin. How you doing?
Like last week or 2 weeks ago.
My bad. I'm sorry. I've been busy, man. But we're here together. What's up, man? What's on your mind?
So you want Kyle Pitts. And
so bad.
You want Kyle Pitts.
I know you said I'm living in dreamland. I saw that.
Yeah, you keep man. It's not gonna happen. But here's the way.
It's not gonna happen.
Here's the way it could happen. But I don't think Kyle Shannon and John Lynch are gonna do that. But here's the way it could happen. If you really want Kyle Pitts, here's what I would do. There's 3 players that everybody keeps talking about trading: Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, and George Kittle. Because Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, and George Kittle. And
you're about to say something really smart, and I like it. Go ahead.
I love George Kittle. And I know I'm going to get hit if I say trade George
Amin,
Kittle.
go for it. I got your back. Say it. I got your back. Really you got a problem with Amin, you got to go through me. Say it, Amin.
I love George Kittle. So the only way I would do this is take Fred Warner out, because Fred Warner is healthy. Whenever all your defense is injured,
he's too important. He's 24. He's healthy.
There.
He never misses a game.
He's young. He never gets injured, and he's a good man in and off the field. On and off
love
the field.
Him. Yep.
So yes, that's not going to happen. Next, let's take out Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa, if you trade Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead's gonna suck. The only way we get pressure to the quarterback is with Nick Bosa and Eric Armstead. But without Nick Bosa,
Eric Armstead's gonna track you down. You start talking like that, man. Eric Armstead is a sensitive big man. Keep going.
It's all good. We need Nick Bosa on that D line. Otherwise, our D line is not that good.
Okay.
And George Kittle. Now, I love George Kittle, But George Kittle already missed 10 games. So
he missed 8 last year.
He already
People got a problem with Jimmy and his durability. What about George?
George already missed 10 games, and like our offense is good, but with George Kittle, it's like another level. But when you don't have it, the best ability is availability. So if you don't,
it's true. You want to knock Jaquiski Tart. You want to knock Jimmy Garoppolo. You got to knock George Kittle, even though he is a fan favorite.
I love George Kittle, but
he has
to be healthy. He just has to be.
And to be frank, his playing style doesn't really give you confidence that he's going to be super durable into his late 20s.
And the one thing that I have issues with if George Kittle is injured also is that we run the ball a lot. And if you don't have Kyle Juszczyk, who was injured last season, and if you don't have George Kittle, our run game is not that good. Our run game is really not that good.
It's not. People act like Mike McGlinchey's this amazing run blocker. When George Kittle isn't on the field, the Niners' run game isn't amazing.
That's my only con of trading George Kittle, right? Because our run game isn't that good without George Kittle. But here's my trade scenario. Atlanta's willing to trade out of that pick. At least that's what I.
We know that. Yeah. We know that. Yes.
So trade George Kittle to Atlanta, and if they don't want George Kittle, give them maybe a third or a fourth, and trade George Kittle, and then you draft Kyle Pitts. And if Kyle Pitts learns how to block, then we have a stud.
Yeah. I like it.
Stud.
Here's the thing, though. I think Atlanta, they might take Kittle, but I think they would prefer Bosa because they have the worst defense in the league. But if you get Bosa, you think Bosa's worth a little more than Kittle? He's younger.
He's younger. He's only missed one season, but Bosa, without Bosa on that D-line, it's just our D-line isn't really that good without Bosa. And it was shown this season.
But the defense was good without Bosa last year.
The defense was good without Bosa, but how are we going to especially when now we have a new defensive coordinator, D'Amico Ryan.
You're right. Dang, you're always one step ahead of me, man. You're right.
How are we gonna like the players don't know the scheme yet, so how are we gonna rush the passer unless he brings blitz without Nick Bosa?
Okay, so what you're saying is trade Kittle to Atlanta for number 4, end up with 3 and 4, get Pitts and your quarterback. Problem solved.
Yeah,
problem solved. All right, man. I'm gonna send this up the proper channels. I'm gonna text it to Kyle. I don't have his number though, but I'll just start guessing numbers.
Because I honestly think if Kyle Pitts learns how to block, our offense will be fine. And also, if we draft, and I honestly think Justin Fields is a lock unless Trey Lance kills it. Honestly.
Forget blocking, man. You can get people to do that. This dude is going to be.
Signed Kyle Juszczyk for a 5-year, $27 million. So he's
Charlie Warner can block. Ross Dwelly can block. This guy is going to lead the team in targets and catches and touchdowns and yards and everything. And I'm going to get his jersey, a big fat head on my wall. It says Kyle Pitts, and I'm going to be next to it like.
No, but I also think Justin Fields is a lock unless Trey Lance kills it in his pro day. Because did you see the Instagram and Twitter pictures of how happy Kyle Shanahan was next to Justin Fields?
Telling you, man, I think it's a smokescreen. I think he's trying to playing mind games with Robert Saleh, man. I think he's playing mind games. I love him, man. He's so good. So good.
And also, you know why I think that rumor floated of Mac Jones? Not like how the Niners wanted Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Robert Saleh doesn't know anything about QBs. So if Kyle Shanahan says he loves Mac Jones, he says that I love Mac Jones. Mac Jones is great or whatever, and it's a lock. Adam Schefter says it's a lock, and all these guys saying it's a lock. Then Robert Saleh might be thinking in his head, hey, Kyle Shanahan's a genius. We should draft Mac Jones.
See, that's what I'm thinking. I feel like Kyle's been trying to sway Robert Saleh. Hey, man, Mac Jones is the guy. And they're like, no, he's not. That's not going to work. So now Kyle's like, okay. It's Justin Fields. It's Justin Fields is the guy that I like. And they're trying to get the Jets to pass on Zach Wilson. That's the way they're trying to get the Jets. They think the Jets are weak-minded. They think the Jets want to do what the Niners want to do. So they're like, all right, you take Mac Jones. They're like, no, dude, we're not that dumb. All right, Fields. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I got to take a couple more calls because it's 10:55 and I got to be up out of here. But great call that you blew that was one of your best. I'm just going to say it was one of your best. And you always come with the heat. So good stuff.
Thank you.
All right, man. Peace. Hey, what's up? What's up, bruh? What's up, dude?
Amin was insane last call.
Damn. Hey, man, he came. I was like, oh, snap. Trade Kittle, huh? This is a bold 13-year-old kid. I love that dude. Gotta love it.
What he said was really close to what I'm going to say.
Okay.
Like, the exact same thing. But first off, I want to say the biggest sports news that's been going on this week that nobody has talked about today. Edelman got retired this week. I know nobody has been talking about it, but their relationship with Belichick and Edelman, Jimmy's is so close.
Mhm.
I think that could change the whole dynamic of a trade because they are so close together. And then I think maybe Edelman was like, because there was a tweet he made this year, like of Edelman, like praising Jimmy Garoppolo. He may have been in Belichick's ear going, dude, we should maybe trade Cam and go get for Jimmy Garoppolo. I think that could be one of the most undercover things that could go on this week. I think it's like really undercover, but I think it's got a shot of changing the whole dynamic.
So explain this to me again. Edelman is the key here.
Edelman is the key because him and Jimmy have had such a good relationship, and that
go back,
putting tweets out and stuff praising Jimmy, and I think he could have been in Belichick's ear going, "We could trade Cam for Jimmy." Like,
so, but Edelman's retired. So how do you see this playing out?
I think meaning that it could trade the dynamic of the trade, making it not happen anymore. Because
he could have been one of the people in the organization being like, bring him back. And now that he's gone, Cam doesn't know. I mean, all these other receivers don't. Yeah, it makes sense.
My other one was I have not talked about Kyle Pitts, but I want to draft Kyle Pitts and then get Kellen Mond in the second round. Here's why.
Preaching to the choir.
We have a lot of like rollout plays.
Yep.
Where we roll out of the pocket.
Yep.
And can contain 2 tight ends. This is how mine changes from Amin's. The 2 tight end set could be perfect for us with Kyle Pitts more as the kind of like a receiver, but at tight end, and it could take the load more off of George, so he doesn't get injured as much, and he can help block. And I think a little bit.
Good point.
And I think Kellen
share the load. Yep.
Would be perfect for this because at Texas A&M they ran the ball so much, and their key type of offense was rolling out of the pocket. Yeah,
and throwing the tight ends. Yep.
Perfect for this offense.
He would. Yeah.
And we would, and as you said, Kyle wouldn't have to change his offense. We would add 2 key factors, and I think it could change the whole dynamic of our offense.
I agree, man. I really hope they do it, man. Great call. Great to see you. I'll be here tomorrow if you are. So I'll take care.
Good
all right,
to
man.
see you. Thank you.
All right, man. Later. Real quick, I gotta get Grant because your name is Grant. What's up, dude?
What's up, man?
Where you calling from, and how'd you get such a great name?
I don't know. I really don't know, man. I wanted to talk Josh Rosen.
Okay.
The reason why is because I don't think all these other quarterbacks in the first round are just as good as him.
Yeah.
I mean, like, why is Mac Jones in the hype for number 3? It's like he has the most bust potential out of all these like other players that have 0 bust potential. Like
I'm with you on that. What's the point?
Jamar Chase, Penny Sewell. Like, you can get one player that has literally 0 bust potential. You get him for the next 10, 15 years, and then you draft a quarterback in the second round, like Kellen Mond, Kyle Trask, maybe David Mills. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. Like, I think any quarterback the Niners are thinking about taking at 3 has to be weighed against Rosen in particular, don't you?
Yeah, like, come on.
Yeah. Doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, he's kind of like Kyle Trask. Just sits in the pocket, throws, stronger arm.
Yeah, I mean, he has a stronger arm than Mac Jones. I mean, the whole thing, the Niners trading up to number 3 for Mac Jones, supposedly. Like, think about it from the Jets' perspective. They have Sam Darnold. They probably think Sam Darnold's better than Mac Jones. So it's like, what are you doing? We don't even like Sam Darnold. You like Mac Jones that much? We wouldn't. What are you doing? It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't even like Zach Wilson.
Yeah, like, you have Josh Rosen. Why don't you just focus on what you have? That's why I keep coming back to the Kyle Pitts thing. It's like, are we sure the Niners are going to make a terrible decision?
Yeah.
We're sure that they're going to make a terrible decision? I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah. Grant, it's a pleasure to meet another Grant. It doesn't happen. It's a great name. Good to see you, man. Have a good one.
All right, you too.
Keith, what's up?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
I can't complain at all. I guess run through a quick thing. I want to say you're very nice. You entertain any conspiracy theories people throw.
I love conspiracy theories, man.
Yeah, let's stay on message. We didn't trade up to get Kyle Pitts. It would be nice though. We're gonna go get a quarterback.
You're right. Thank you for bringing us back to reality. You're right.
Yes, let's come back to the real world.
Yeah, you're right.
And you say Lawrence and Fields have been propped up as if they didn't earn that status. I mean, they showed out.
No. I didn't mean that. It's just every year there are players who are just identified at a young age, and it's some are right, some are wrong, but it's a lot for a young kid. I think
that's what I speak to. That is them having that pressure since they were 15 to live up to that level. To still be where they're at, where they're probably both going to be top 5 picks.
True.
I have to say that's money earned. You know.
Agree.
And Kittle, your caller that said trade Kittle, he does have a little bit more wiggle room than Jimmy G, Tart, and those other guys. He's been an All-Pro. Okay.
No.
So you get a little bit more. What do they call it? Earned
rope or whatever.
Yeah, a little more rope to be hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I do want to go over because I think Jimmy G's days are numbered. What landing places you have? I have a couple. The one that comes to mind for me is Denver. What would you think about Jimmy G possible landing places?
I mean, if Denver hired me as a consultant, I'd be like, what do you need him for? Drew Lock is younger, cheaper, liver arm. I mean, don't do that. Well, there's Washington, although they're in a position to take a quarterback. There's New England, although I prefer Cam Newton.
I do too. I don't think it's almost like going back to your old girlfriend.
Yeah, like really? I mean, it's depressing.
And if you went back to a girlfriend that was more damaged, right? She left. Now she's gained 40 pounds. Like Jimmy's been hurt towards ACL. She left. All that. So,
and all they do is talk about the relationship they just left. It's like, do we have to talk about this? Like, I know it didn't go well, but it's over. Like this is, it's like rehooking up from a position of weakness. It's the most depressing thing. And then afterwards, you're just like, what did I do? Oh, I'm back. Yeah, it's terrible, man. I'm with you on that. Terrible. Yeah.
And and one more thing, and I'm gonna let you go.
All right.
You think everything is a smoke screen, like Mac Jones smoke screen, Field smokes, like it's all smoke screen, or do you really have a back to the real world prediction of who the Niners are going to take?
I have no idea, man. I still feel like there's a possibility that the Jets take Fields. I don't think the Niners take Mac Jones at 3. Maybe they take him later on. I think there's going to be a surprise. I don't think they take Jones or Fields at 3. If it's Wilson, I think they would take him. But I don't know what the Jets are going to do. What do you think is going to happen?
I think Kyle is playing with the Jets because he doesn't want to know what he's going to do either.
Playing with him. Yep.
But I think they have an idea, but you can't say what you're going to do because then the Jets can just do that. They can take the guy you want.
Exactly.
And so
So both teams are trying to be sneaky.
What do you think? Okay, so I watched your show the other day with is it Jason?
Yes.
What he said about the owner of the Jets connection to Trump, I guess, or something. And that affecting them drafting Fields. Do you think that's a reality to that?
Hadn't thought of that. But they just hired Robert Saleh, who's not. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, it's not like Justin Fields is exactly Colin Kaepernick. I mean,
that's correct.
I mean, just because he's a black quarterback, they're not going to bring him on the team. Really? I don't think so. There's a lot of black players on that team. I'd hope not.
No, I don't think that would be.
I actually think Justin Fields is a real possibility for that team.
I think after Lawrence, anything is possible.
I'm with you on that.
But thank
you,
all right,
man. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Yeah. All right, last call. What's up, man? Nice watch.
How are you? Huh?
I'm doing great. Nice watch, by the way, man. I'm doing great. What's up with you, man?
So 2 things. One, I think something's getting lost is that how is Jimmy going to react to all this? Once draft is over, right? And say they keep Jimmy on, right? Say they draft Justin Fields. We'll just play the odds. They're going to draft Justin Fields. They're going to say, Justin, you can't play under center. You need a year of development. That's what we're going to do. Now, there's 2 things that can happen, right? Either Jimmy's like, well, guess what? Justin's never going to touch the field.
Yeah.
Or Jimmy shuts down.
Yeah.
And then you're kind of catapulted because maybe Jimmy stays injury-free, but maybe Jimmy plays even more vanilla, even more pedestrian, less risk, right? And they could, I mean, I think they're projected to win 10 wins. Given their schedule, that would be a success, right? So now
and anytime he gets knocked, I'm out.
I'm out.
Yeah.
You could have Fields play, struggle.
Put the kid on the field. Let him fail. Let him fail right now.
Right.
Yep.
So, I mean, look at Aaron Rodgers. He basically said, sure, draft him. I'm going to win the MVP.
Is that what Jimmy's going to do, or is he going to go the other direction?
Right. Yeah. Well, 18 months ago, I would have said he would have stayed on the field. Last year was pretty telling, right?
Yeah.
That he probably could have played probably week 17, week 16.
Yeah.
And I think that probably would have gone into some of those good graces of Kyle. But I also think Jimmy got probably the message that his days were numbered.
Yes.
Basically. Maybe
no
towards
doubt.
Whatever, because you haven't heard peep from Jimmy. Zero.
Yeah. And he
not even from family.
And that thing that Kyle said about he plays better when he's angry, like, really? I've never seen angry Jimmy. Is it possible that this whole we're keeping Jimmy and he's going to compete and is about as truthful as the stuff they were saying about Jimmy before the trade? That this is just all posturing and that by day 2 of the draft, he'll be gone.
And so if they do draft Fields and they have the draft capita to draft other good players, to me, it's not a really prudent. Why would you not trade him? Trade him for a second-round pick. Trade him for next year's second-round pick.
Yeah.
At that point, what are you doing? You're stunting his development. Fields at that point. You know what? Were you really going to win the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo this year? Probably not. Probably not. But a year of Justin Fields seasoned in with a new extension for Fred Warner and others on the defense, right? Maybe you do make a run at it next year with draft capital.
Yeah, would the fans, would the players in the team be so upset to have a new quarterback? They might be kind of excited by it.
Well, that's the one caveat. I think, remember Kyle Juszczyk saying Jimmy's our quarterback, and now all of a sudden I'll support whoever the quarterback is. I think that's kind of funny too.
Nice backpedal, bro.
They know. Yeah. If Jimmy's replaceable, anyone's replaceable.
I just always felt bad for Juszczyk putting himself out there. It's like, dude, they're using you, man. You don't know what they're gonna do. Don't talk like
Kittle.
that.
Him and Kittle. Notice how him and Kittle are the only two that will talk about Jimmy. No one else. Everyone is like Raheem Mostert. He's like, yeah, Jimmy's good, but man, those dual quarterbacks are really great, right? Anyone else will be like, yeah, it would be nice if someone could scramble out of the pocket by 2 seconds and hit, Emmanuel
I'm sure Mike
Sanders
McGlinchey would like that.
touchdown.
I'm sure Mike McGlinchey would appreciate that.
Yeah. You gonna do a live show for the draft or no? Or is
I'm probably gonna do a live show. I got to figure out how to do the format because I have to do write articles and produce for my employer. So I'll probably intermittently go live, go off, and I'll have to figure that one out. But I'll be around. I'll be working out. I'm not gonna be at a bar, drinking call picks. Someone DM me the other day hey, where are you and your friends gonna be for the draft? I'm like,
well, I was gonna ask.
I don't have friends, and I'm gonna be at home.
Right. I figured as much. All right.
Well, it's a pleasure, man. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep. I'll see you again.
All right. Take care. All right, guys. That's it. It's 11:09. Jose, I missed you. Dr. Jazz, King Giovanni. I will bump you up to the front of the line tomorrow. I promise. Niners, Nick Newton. Sorry so much. My wife's in the other room. It's a workcation. It's not. I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I'm not at home. So I'm done for the day. I will see you guys tomorrow, 10 o'clock, same place. Peace.